The wonderful, delightful sounds of the Elizabethan chorus. Now, if you are a fan of lovely, lovely sheep, hills, stone and tarts, that's a heck of a recipe for success, because last week, in at number 6 in the Times Best Towns in Britain list, picturesque Bakewell. So we've sent Jennifer Vernon Edwards, oh yes, to find out if it's all picture postcard stuff or just full of tarts.
Right, well, I'm Judy from Bagshaw's Residential, and I've lived in Bakewell all my life. I think the Bakewell's a lovely place to live and to grow up.
Now, lovely as she is, she would say that Bakewell is the perfect place to live. But is it?
We like this small country town feeling.
You haven't got a Bakewell accent.
I'm one of the intruders. And we've come back to retire here.
So it's got that much of a pull?
Yes.
You've been here for 10 minutes. First impressions, what do you make of the place?
I think it's beautiful. I really do. And you can see, I'm looking in the estate agent window, so you can see where my head can wander.
We have a baking festival, so it's a good place to live if you're young, and it's a good place to live if you're old. So,
do I need a lot of wonga to live here? Does one speak in ones and not I? Not I as in A-Y-E, but I as in M-E, me?
The locals certainly don't, and so I think that's important to remember. And no, you don't need a lot of money to live here. It depends what sort of house you want.
There she goes again, the lovely Judy. Is it a place where you have to behave? You're a bit younger than the average Bakewellian, Baketon. What are people of Bakewell called? Bakewellians?
I like Bakewellians. That's pretty good, actually.
So I've heard a lot of people say you come here to retire. It's a great place to retire. Does that mean it's not a great place to let your hair down?
You go somewhere else. You could probably go to Chesterfield or possibly Matlock. It's not much of a party atmosphere in the night. If you're a young person, there's not much to do. I used to live here.
And was it like living in a goldfish bowl?
A goldfish bowl full of cement, yes. And tourists, lots of tourists. People standing around looking at nothing and walking in your way and filling up the car parks. Hi, my name's Paul Morgans. I'm the current mayor of Bakewell.
What do you think? You're number 6.
I think number 6 is pretty good, but I think we're going to aim for number 1 next year.
On what grounds?
Well, I just think our location is quite magnificent, actually, to be like the only town in the national park. It's very cultural. It's some really interesting people that live in Bakewell. You've got a lot of people who could basically have the opportunity and the wealth to live absolutely anywhere in the world that they choose, and they choose to live here. And I find that really, really interesting.
And is it a welcoming place?
Because here we're so used to having holiday makers and tourists come into the area, everybody's sort of accepted, and it's absolutely fabulous to live somewhere where people want to visit. I've lived in places where people don't want to visit, and they're not great, I'll tell you.
£3.50. I'm Julie.
I'm Tracy.
And I'm Kaz. From Bakewell Deli on the corner.
So you sell tarts and puddings?
Tarts and Bakewell tarts and puddings. Yeah, we are the Bakewell tarts and puddings.
Do Bakewellians bake well?
Definitely. Absolutely, definitely. You certainly try to.
Yeah.
We make an attempt. I'm not saying we bake well, I'm saying we bake.
Brilliant, they bake very well indeed. And we will be meeting the baking god that is the mayor of Bakewell, Paul Morgans. He's going to be joining me this morning on Saturday Breakfast. That was Jennifer Vernon Edwards with her back of the picture postcard look at Bakewell. The town came in at number 6 in the Times Best Towns in Britain's list earlier this week. So what do you call Bakewell folk? Is it Bakewellians? Bakewellards? Bakewellans maybe? 81333.
Easter Monday.